Hey, hello. Cool. Can mostly see me and not just the roof of my the shelf on my pantry that my computer lives in when I do these. Hello. Welcome to Stardew Stream. I once again have forgotten to pull up my list of how I do this. I'm making all of the foods from Stardew Valley. And accidentally hitting my headphones and playing random things that were just sort of in a tab on my computer somewhere. Here are my rules. I have to use all of the ingredients listed in the game. In my notes, I say possible exception for fish type, TBD if this is needed. So far, not needed. I got some weird stuff for this. It's not that weird. Number two, I can add any other ingredients as long as they're not in Stardew. I'm probably gonna do that. Uh, Rule number three, as much as possible, create the recipes myself. Pretty much doing that. Yup. As much as possible, use local and/or forage ingredients. Goal of one fancy ingredient per recipe. Um, Neither local nor forage, but I think sea cucumbers are fancy ingredient. Um, Number five, as much as possible, take inspiration from the in-game images and descriptions. Six, as much as possible, try to make them actually tasty, even if they're not necessarily pitched as it. I don't know if I'm going to succeed with that today, to be so honest. I don't know what this stuff tastes like. I'm a little scared, but it's okay. Because rule seven, have fun. Um, so I'm making a tortilla, which I'm pretty sure I've made my own tortillas before, but like it's been a while. I don't super remember. I did not have masa, so I did have to get my own, and I think I am gonna a little bit use a recipe for that, just to make sure that I'm getting like the ratios right, even though I think it's pretty much just masa and water. Um, and I'm going to use that tortilla to also make Lucky Lunch. I kind of wanted to do this past weekend at lunchtime. However, I didn't have time to acquire and then rehydrate my sea cucumbers, so we're doing it today. Tortilla, of course. The recipe, the ingredient is corn, and the description is can be used as a vessel for food or eaten by itself. Um, and Lucky Lunch, the description is a special little meal, and it includes sea cucumber, tortilla, and blue jazz. Um, so I think I'm gonna start by making tortillas. And to be so honest, I'm gonna make like one or two tortillas because I'm going on vacation in like 2 days. Um, and I already have leftovers that I need to deal with, and I don't want to have a bajillion tortillas. However, if this goes well, I will absolutely be making more tortillas just for funsies for other stuff. Um, so let me find my tortilla recipe real quick. Okay, so this calls for 2 cups of masa. I'm going to use far less than that. What does this say? This says it makes 12 to 16. So I'm gonna do, um, if I quarter it, the ratios will make sense. I'll quarter it. I'll do half a cup of masa. Where is my half cup? Here we go. Okay. Got a bowl. Gonna add my half a cup of masa and calls for half a teaspoon of salt. So we will do sort of a small quarter teaspoon situation. Also, hello. I didn't say hello. I mean, maybe I did, kind of, generally in the introduction, but hello to person in chat. I will probably not be super responsive while I am making this tortilla on account of I need to look at my phone for the amounts, but it's fine. Okay. Mix this bad boy up. I probably should have used non-kosher salt, used a finer salt, but it's fine. I'm so thinking this is gonna be too much tortilla, but it's okay. I can make things happen. While we're here, I guess I'll bring this up later. I have a slightly wilted, whoopsie, radicchio, which I believe I've mentioned before on these. One of my 2026 resolutions is if I see a vegetable I've never eaten, I have to purchase and eat it. And I don't believe I've had radicchio before. So I may put that into the Lucky Lunch. I may just cook it separately and it can be here unrelated. I've yet to decide. Lucky Lunch, it looks like, does sort of have green. My plan is to do avocado for that. And I feel like I had a second thing I was gonna. Oh, regular cucumber. I'm thinking I'm gonna do some regular cucumber in addition to the sea cucumber. But I'm gonna feel it with my heart. Okay. Calls for 1.5 cups, so I need. I'm doing this milliliter style. Hold on. 1.5 cups is 350 milliliters. Okay, 87.5 milliliters. Um, a quarter cup is 60. Okay, quarter cup. Does water need to be warm? It is supposed to be warm. I am a little bit feeling y'all mind if a white boy speaks a little Spanish by making these tortillas, but such is life. Sometimes we gotta be a white boy speaking a little Spanish. Um, okay, here are 60 of our milliliters, and it does say to mix that basically together. It says a cup, but that's 2/3 of the thing that it says to do, and 60 milliliters is about 2/3 of the amount that I need to add. And then I'm gonna need, I believe, a tablespoon is 15. So I need, yes, I need another 2 tablespoons, which I will sort of measure out and put into this measuring cup. Okay. Um, I would say this water is absorbed. I also don't remember how thoroughly I washed my hands before I started this. So let me just do that again before I start using my hands to knead the tortilla dough. Um, Absolute worst case scenario, if these tortillas are unusable, I have normal tortillas already that I can I can use for the Lucky Lunch portion of this. But I feel like tortilla will go well, which is partly why I'm doing it first, so that I can do something sort of simple and not very scary before I invent a recipe using sea cucumber, which I've never eaten. Um, mm, the warm corn flour is like such a nice smell. The sad lack of smell-o-vision availability here. Um, this this is kind of a dough. I'm gonna add a little more water. I don't think I need all of it. Yeah, this feels probably about right. Okay, knead it into a ball. Then we are going to separate it into, I'm gonna turn this into 3 tortillas. This says it'll do 4 inches across. I think I want slightly bigger than that. So if I quartered a recipe that makes 12 to 16 and do that in thirds, that should probably be, well, I guess that would be the of the 12. Okay, we got our little things. Gonna get some parchment paper and we're gonna flatten these bad boys out. My my parchment paper box is really mean to me. All right. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my pan to flatten them. All right. I don't have an actual tortilla press. Um, on account of I do not make my own tortillas anywhere near often enough to justify such an item in my personal kitchen. Okay. Um, this this seems thin enough. And then I guess I'll put it just sort of on this little bitty piece of parchment paper. Third tortilla. Ah, okay, pop that in there. Yeah, this one seems like it's maybe a little thicker than the others, but not by a ton. So I think it's fine. Okay. and we are going to heat up this pan and make some tortillas. And luckily, tortillas actually don't need oil, um, which is good because in Stardew they don't, and it wouldn't feel right to cook them in butter. I think I am gonna have to cook my sea cucumbers in butter. Um, getting, um, yeah. I haven't fully decided what I'm doing about them, to be honest. I know what I want it to look like in the end, but it's I don't I really this is one where I don't know what I'm doing. Generally, I feel like with these I'm like I'm gonna use like cooking techniques that I already know from being a person who likes to cook. Um and this one is not particularly coming from my area of expertise, to be honest. Um and also sort of get the little extra bits of dry masa off of my pan. Okay, so I got my little tortillas. I got to get a bag to put this masa in. Um, okay, we're getting sort of warm. Um, while this happens, let me introduce you to um my probably strangest internet purchase that I've made. Here are my sea cucumbers that I bought online because I had to, because they did not have sea cucumbers anywhere that I could get to in person. They come dehydrated, so these have been sitting in a bowl of water to rehydrate them, and they're gonna become Lucky Lunch. Um, I don't know what I want Lucky Lunch to be flavored like. I looked up sea cucumber recipes and did not find anything that particularly spoke to me. Um, so, um, yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I still have that tab open. I do. Um, it also like very much is like a okay, well this is an image that it looks like has been taken from another website and mirrored horizontally because there is a backwards watermark on it. Which kind of tracks this website that I found a list of sea cucumber recipes on seems like sort of SEO optimization situation. Whoa, that's so beautiful. This is looking like a normal tortilla. I did check my Rick Stein Taste of the Sea cookbook, but there are no sea cucumber recipes in there, believe it or not. Food.com. That's a real website. What do you say to do? Rice wine? Is rice wine allowed in this? I think I do actually have some. Um, okay, this tortilla is just about done. I'm gonna sort of put it on a towel if I can find a good towel to do that. There you go. Here's a clean towel. All right. Tortilla one complete. Tortilla two into the pan with ye. Um, okay. I mean, this has plenty of stuff that I either don't have on hand or is not allowed per my challenge, but um, this I was thinking maybe soy sauce. Um, Pacific Sea Cucumber Harvesters Association. That is sort of promising to me in my heart. Um, Sea cucumber in brown sauce? What is in the brown sauce? Green onion, ginger can't use, wine can't use, oil can't use, sugar can't use. Soy sauce, could use that. Soup stock also allowed. Um, okay, so it seems that I will not be following a recipe exactly, which is sort of fine. Do you want to be nice to me? Come on, here we go. Um, this says to cook the sea cucumber in. Okay, this is like having you boil it, basically. Um, that also seems like a promising option. Let's get this last tortilla on here. Um, I'm gonna probably cook the cornstarch, or not cornstarch. There's cornstarch in this recipe. I think I probably will use this sort of recipe to cook my sea cucumber. Do I have a thing of veggie broth open already? I don't. And just because I'm like, I don't know how to tell if it's cooked all the way through because I've not eaten this before. Speaking of, I'm going to sort of dry it off. Dry them off. What I don't know whether what I should do is, because I was planning on, maybe I should fry them. Let me see if I can find a recipe that has you fry them. Braised sashimi, I will not be doing that. Soup, steamed, braised. I think prawns might be. That is not a frying situation. Perhaps these should not be fried. Perhaps I do want to boil them. Oh, apparently sea cucumbers are virtually tasteless on its own. We're learning this. This does say to stir fry them. Okay, you can't. It seems like you can stir fry them. I am going to plan on doing that, and I'm gonna burn this last tortilla, which is fine. I will sort of stir fry them. Okay. First, ugh, we have completed recipe number 1 for today, which is a tortilla. Welcome to Tortilla World. It is a tortilla. I probably could have stood to put like a little bit more salt, but like it's a corn tortilla. Um, what do you want? Okay, I'm gonna rinse off the outsides of these sea cucumbers. I'm gonna dry them off again. And I'm going to cut them open and get rid of the insides on account of I believe you don't eat the insides. I think you need to make sure that they're not filled with grist. So the Lucky Lunch, the image of it is sort of star-shaped. And the star is yellow. And in Stardew Valley, sea cucumbers are yellow. So I think that the star is supposed to be made of sea cucumber. And so I'm going to try and do that. But on account of these sea cucumbers are neither star-shaped nor large enough to cut one big star out of, I have a vision for how I'm going to do that. I don't know if this is going to be the ideal knife to use, but let's find out. I don't think this is the ideal knife to use, but maybe it's fine. Okay. I'm gonna cut these sea cucumbers open. Um, I'm gonna go find where the recipe that explained how to clean out the insides is. Um, I believe it was this brown sauce one. No, it was not the brown sauce one. Where did you explain this to me? Is it you? Is it you been in the notes? I've lost it. It was not this. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically cut these two sea cucumbers into 5 pieces, and I'm going to arrange them in a star on the ultimate thing. I'm gonna lose my mind. I know that there was a thing that explained. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So cut them. And then, oh, there's some grist in here. Gonna like this. Trim the ends off. Okay. I'm okay with trimming the ends off. This looks like some sort of mouth situation, and I don't know how edible that is. Okay. What I'm gonna do is actually do this. Okay. We're gonna get out the insides of this thing. This is so strange to me. Okay. I'm gonna rinse off this whole situation. Okay. This is seeming less scary now, actually, that I'm that I'm like cutting into these things. My God, I really don't know a lot about sea cucumbers. Um, ah, my sea cucumber. Hashtag my cucumber. Um, can we sort of use a knife to help out here? Come on, the other half was so easy. Let me get the gunk out of here. There we go. Here we go. We're getting the gunk. We're degunking it. Scrape off. Sorry, I'm like not talking at all, but I am locked in on this sea cucumber cleaning adventure. Sort of the beauty of life is that you get to have all these new experiences that you never necessarily anticipated you would do. Um, There's two. Here's what I'm gonna do with this other one. I'm gonna sort of cut the end off. I'm going to cut it open in one piece, and then clean out the middle, and then cut it into the three pieces I will need it to be in. So I think I may have more ease if I do that. Oh, this one has much less grist than the smaller. This is such an interesting animal. Kind of get out of you. All right. Rinse these bad boys off one more time. Cut this one into three pieces so that I can have my star when I'm done. Then I'm going to figure out what I'm actually doing. Okay. So, um, place the clean sea cucumber in a sauce pot and cover with hot. I assume this is supposed to be hot water, but it doesn't say water. Okay. Um, shoot, which one was the one that was? This is the one that's because you fry them. Okay. This is not a very good website either, if I can be so honest. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay. I think I fry these. I think I fry these. And I I throw away their intestines. Um, I think I do my sort of Stardew classic and fry them in butter. I think I also need to remember to get out my avocado and cucumber. Wash that. Also gonna sort of wash this cutting board real quick. Okay. Um, okay. So sort of the vision. Let me look at my Lucky Lunch image. I think when I've seen other people do this, they cut um the tortilla into a star. I don't think that's my interpretation of the Lucky Lunch is that the star is supposed to be the sea cucumber. I think that it's the same color in the sprite. Oh, I completely forgot. Actually, hold on. Let me revisit this. Also, finally dump this water out. Um, I have these. These are my blue jazz. They're not very blue, but they are garlic flowers, allium flowers, which, as far as people have, as far as I've seen online when I've sort of searched for this, is sort of people's best approximation of what blue jazz is. So I'm going to use these, which have been sitting in my kitchen for a while, blooming, and then waiting for my sea cucumbers to rehydrate. Um, I'm counting these as my blue jazz. They smell like garlic. I'm counting them as a distinct item from garlic. That is why that's why I was thinking I would boil them. I'm gonna boil them. I'm gonna boil them so that I can put the sea cucumber in with the thing. My blue jazz. Um yeah, I really don't know where the blue jazz comes into the recipe, to be honest. It's not clear in the image. So that to me, honestly, because this is the only like cooking recipe that it's in, adds to yeah, I think it's probably like a garlic flower if it's not going to be there as like an edible flower for visual impact, but for like a flavor. I don't know if two of these will be sufficient to flavor boiled sea cucumber, but we're going to find out. So, sea cucumber in the pot with the garlic flowers. I'm gonna like just barely cover them in water. The the blue jazz, I'm gonna call them blue jazz so that it counts. Um, those are not completely in there, but I think they will sort of it'll work out as they boil. Um, gonna put some I'm gonna put some soy sauce in here as well, but I am also going to put some salt in the water. Okay. Not like a ton of salt, since again, there's not a ton of water in here, but enough that it will be not completely bland and boiling. And you know what, let's throw some black pepper in here, I guess. Why not? And then I'm gonna boil it. The boiling recipes, it seems like, had it go for like 20 minutes, so I'm gonna do that because I don't want to give myself food poisoning from sea cucumbers, because that would be really embarrassing if I made myself ill. Um, well, while we're at it, I might instead I'm gonna stir fry this radicchio because I got my pan out. And I think this is gonna not be part of this. I think I have enough of a vision, and I don't know that radicchio will um, taste good with the rest of what's going on. I don't know if I will even like this. It is in the chicory family. It is bitter. Um, I'll try a little bit raw, sort of for posterity. I'll try a little bit of the leaf. Yeah, it's bitter. Um, my research was correct. But I believe if you cook it, it's less so. Tastes kind of a lot like the endive. I think I ate an endive on one of these streams. It's not the end of the world if I don't like it. On account of it's the point is to try it, and this is the smallest one I could find. Um, I think I probably also will boil this covered. I'm gonna like let it simmer once it actually comes to a boil. Um, get this back out. Get my bowl back. I'm going to cut up this radicchio into little bits, and I'm gonna toss it in some salt and oil, and gonna sort of feel out some other seasonings with my heart and figure out sort of what the vibe is. Maybe some sugar, to be honest. I usually am not a put sugar in stuff kind of guy, but I do think, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stir this with my spider. Um, um, that might kind of honestly be good. So, all right, oil. Again, this is not part of Lucky Lunch. It is not part of Stardew Challenge. I can use oil. I can use whatever I want. Um, this is just how I'm gonna pass the time while I wait for 20 minutes for this to boil. Salt. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do like a little bit of maple syrup in it as like a sweet thing. I am not often throwing it in stuff, but sometimes when I'm doing like making a salad dressing or something that needs a little bit of something sweet, sometimes I'll do some stuff in that. Oh, I used this for the tortillas. Yeah, you can sort of just become this thing. Okay, what else are we putting? Pepper for sure. I guess my dinner tonight is just sort of taking big swings, and if it's all terrible and I hate it, I will make pasta or something. Um, or eat more of my. I made kolaches, and I made too much filling for them, and then I was like, oh, well, I guess what I'll do is I'll make more kolache dough. and simply make more kolaches, which I did because, and I think I was right about this. I think having too many kolaches is a better problem than having too much kolache filling when the issue is that you need to use them up because you are going on vacation, but you also like bought enough groceries to have dinners until you leave. Um, so nutritional yeast, do we think? I actually don't know that that would be good. I do love my nutritional yeast, but I don't know if this is the time for it. Um, Mustard could be good as like a little. Actually, I'm gonna mix mustard in here. Oh, and let me set a timer. I'm gonna throw a little bit of Dijon in this bad boy for a little bit of acidity, and I think mustard flavor is good and goes with the like sort of maple vinaigrette situation. Um, okay. I have no idea if this will be any good at all, but I'm gonna cook it and I'm gonna try it, and hopefully it'll be good. I hope I enjoy it. Got my tortillas over here. My vision, I think, for the, and I don't need this butter, I guess, because I'm not gonna fry those things. Sea cucumber. Um, I think my vision for the Lucky Lunch is it's a tortilla and then a layer of veggies. I've yet to decide if I want to mash up the avocado and do like a, not like a guacamole because I wouldn't put all the seasonings in it that I would normally put in guacamole. In part due to the fact that I usually put like garlic and uh, tomato in there a little bit. I mean, tomato's kind of optional, because like onion would be allowed. Um, or if I want to do slices, I feel like slices of avocado and slices of cucumber are the move, and I'm gonna like slice it real thin. I kind of like that. Let's go with that. Um, and then the sea cucumber on top. This is kind of a beautiful avocado. I think maybe I'm gonna only use half of it so that if this turns out terrible, I have the other half of an avocado to do something tastier with. Um, oh yeah, but I have a ton of kolaches, and luckily I did make like a good chunk of them like sausage, egg, and cheese. Well, veggie sausage because I don't eat regular sausage, but I feel like especially in a kolache, it's like it's the same. The quality of sausage you would probably be putting in those is not like your like fancy ones. I feel like it would be like a breakfast sausage. So I've been eating them for breakfast, is my point here. And I have gotten myself down to a much more manageable number of kolaches. Um, and also I like pawned some of them off on my friends the other day. But I guess that's also sort of a backup that I have if I need it. I actually don't want to start assembling this yet. And probably it was a poor decision to slice my avocado because it's gonna, brown or whatever. But I mean, it's 15 minutes. I think it'll be okay. But I will also slice. Man, I had a big old salad for lunch, and I didn't even think that, oh, I have a cucumber that I could put in that. I just had like lettuce and carrots and croutons and stuff. But normally I definitely put cucumber in my salads. And I definitely don't need this whole cucumber for the Lucky Lunch. I'll slice up like half of it though. Oh, right. I forgot this is already heating up. Okay. Let's let's do that. We don't need to wash that yet. This does primarily smell like Dijon mustard now. Ah, what we got? How are these little bad boys doing? Seems fine. Seems good. Okay. These seem probably pretty much good. Let me wash this. Fork I used to make the tortilla dough. Try, try a little piece of this. Oh, it isn't good. It's really bitter. Um, it's cooked through. Okay, radicchio. Not a favorite. Um, Let me try one of the leaves. Maybe that's better. Sorry, it's hot. Okay, leaves better. I think it's really the stalks that are like horrendously bitter. And like in sort of that like vegetal way, where it's like it sort of tastes like when you have like lettuce that's too, it's like kind of getting pink and it's like all bitter, which is not a flavor that I'm a fan of. Let me add radicchio to my list of new vegetables. Um, let's see. My new veggies I've seen and gotten and eaten this year. Endive, I think I did that on an earlier one of these. Was not a huge fan. Swiss chard, pretty good. Yacon, it was okay. I mean, I didn't dislike it. Rutabaga, I think that was good. I think I liked the rutabaga. I don't remember. I think that tasted sort of like spicy in like a mustardy way. Um, I don't 100% remember what it tasted like, but it's like a nice root vegetable. Chayote squash was also okay. Um, I feel like there probably could have been a recipe that I could have found with it that I would have been like, oh, this is very good. I made like a coleslaw with it basically that was I mean, it was all right. It was like kind of a nice little like salad situation. Kohlrabi, that's a broccoli type situation. I don't remember what I did with it. I think I baked it. I think that was all right. Yeah, pretty good. Fava beans, I made like Ethiopian style fava beans. Those are pretty good. That probably is the best thing I've made of a new vegetable so far. And now radicchio. I also don't like that. uh, which is sort of sad because I'm like, there are not a lot of vegetables or a lot of fruits that I don't like, but I guess chicories are sort of not not a type of vegetable that is personally for me. Um, about self-discovery. I'm gonna wash these. I don't no gunk got on them. Um, oh, I opened the pasta with it. Water. I'll hold on to that. I'll hold on to these. It's okay though, because Loki Lunch is actually gonna be like surprisingly good. I'm manifesting this. This is one where I think this is one of the ones that like of the this and fried mushrooms because I don't know if I've seen anyone actually get morels for that. I'm trying to remember. I've watched a couple of other like they weren't like streams. They were like videos that had sort of better production value, to be honest. Of other people who have done the like making all of the Stardew Foods project challenge situation, and I've definitely talked about this before on one of these, but like the thing that I was like, no, I gotta do it because I have like in my heart what is the correct way. obviously it's like it's whatever. It's making food from a video game. You can do whatever you want. No one's making you. Um, and despite my like disagreement with the rules, I very much enjoyed like the other people who did these enough to be like, I'm gonna do this whole endeavor myself as well. Um, was that like I mean the biggest one was like no adding ingredients that are available in Stardew that aren't in the like stated recipe. Um, I haven't seen anyone who's like had that line, and that's sort of like what I think like the my like first two rules of like you have to use all of the ingredients that it lists. If it's something that straight up does not exist in real life, like closest approximation is fine. I think when it gets to what is it, the strange bun that uses void mayonnaise? Um, I mean, I guess I'll have to make my own void mayonnaise, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do quail eggs as the void eggs because like those are speckled. I think they can be kind of dark. Um, and there's not quail in Stardew. But there's not a void chicken in real life. Possibly if I could find some like I think there maybe is some kind of chicken that where like the eggshell is black. I don't know. I'm like totally getting off on tangents. What was the point that I had to make about this? Oh, this is one where like I can't remember if I've seen anyone who actually was like went and got a sea cucumber to use. I think I've seen at least one person who like used a regular cucumber, which like I'm putting regular cucumber in it. I can't judge that too harshly. Um, but I was like, I don't know. I feel like the going to lengths to get the right ingredients, especially if it's like, I'm not doing this all at once, so I can kind of spread my weird grocery budget out over a longer period of time and make it um more manageable. uh yeah, it's fun. I like doing this. I probably will rewarm these tortillas, to be quite honest, once I'm ready to assemble. Um, I guess I'll I guess I'll bust out another pan since there's all sorts of sauces and forbidden ingredients by the name of oil and um, maple syrup in the other pan. All right, we're getting towards our 20 minutes. What do we looking at?
Timer complete. Phone should go on my counter and not in my pocket so that I can look at chat if I want to. Okay. I need to get my stuff out of here. This can go here. Okay. I'm really quite fascinated for how this is going to turn out. Okay. Um, I hope this is at all tastes good. Let me real quick reheat these tortillas. Um, knock all my towels off of my thing. I'm also gonna do these one at a time on account of they don't quite both fit in this thing. Do I have any sort of sauces also that would be good on account of I don't want this to be like inedibly dry. What is my lemon juice doing? That's not where you go. Ah, put my wisteria syrup where the lemon juice goes, and the lemon juice where the wisteria syrup goes. I don't know if hoisin sauce would particularly go with that. Um, all right, it's fine. Actually, you know what? I might put a little bit of butter just like on the tortilla. Like a little bit. We'll try it. We'll try it. We're taking big swings. Okay. I'm gonna also just sort of rewarm this one a little bit while we construct a lucky lunch. Okay. Tortilla, a little bit of butter, and then we're gonna sort of beautifully arrange these veggies. My beautiful arrangement is suffering, partly due to the fact that this avocado is a little bit large for what I'm actually trying to do on this tortilla. Okay. We are going to marginally less beautifully arrange these veggies. I couldn't remember if cucumbers were in Stardew or not. I was like so sure that they were, but I did look it up before I purchased a cucumber for this. I'm delighted to find that they're not, and thus I can use them. Okay, here we go. I don't even know like what the right mode of eating this is. Um, Here we go. My sea cucumber is falling all over the place and not staying in my beautiful star formation. Here is Lucky Lunch. Um, we're gonna find out if it's at all good. I really don't know. I'm quite scared of this food, but I need to do it. I need to take a bite so I can put it down and take my other tortilla off of the heat. The sea cucumber doesn't really taste like anything. Um, the texture's sort of fun, but it's just a texture. It's also a bit undersalted. I think I probably did not have enough sort of soy sauce and salt in that water for it to really ah, um interesting. Um, Here, I'll try like just a little piece of this. Yeah, it's quite odd. It kind of just tastes dehydrated. Um, let's see. What about just the here's the rest of the sea cucumber. What about just the tortilla and such? And also like the garlic flavor that I was hoping would come through in the from the blue jazz wink wink definitely doesn't. Um, which is kind of a shame. But probably you would have needed more garlic for it to to come through, or like to soak it with the garlic. Tortilla, avocado, cucumber is good. I like this. I mean, I could use a little bit of salt because those are all quite bland ingredients. Um, but yeah, I I don't know. Um, it's better than I was afraid it would be. The sea cucumber and the sort of lucky lunch overall, but not as good as I would have hoped. You know,
Um, is this a situation where measuring probably would have been better on account of I was cooking a food that I had have zero experience with? Probably. Um, yeah, I think that's probably the case. I might, I think I might cook them further, to be honest, and see what happens. Um, just 'cause like I went to the effort and to the expense of like buying these and spending a couple days rehydrating them, and I mean like I don't really want to be contributing to food waste generally, and I don't want to, have my like weird special ingredients go to waste. Um, but I think that's sort of beyond the scope of this. We are so food enjoyers, it's true. Um, yeah. I'll probably make my own tortillas again, though. I do have the whole rest of that bag of masa to use up, which I don't really know what else you'd use it for other than making tortillas. Um, Although I wonder if like a corn cookie would use masa, or if it would use cornmeal. I don't know. Make really cornbread with cornmeal and masa instead of cornmeal and flour. Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, well, sort of a fascinating endeavor. One that I had been looking forward to. I'm glad I got around to it finally. When I return from being on vacation, we'll see how my schedule works out. I might do. Is that why I got those mushrooms? I have a thing of mushrooms in my fridge and I don't remember what I got them for. And I'm like, uh-oh, I gotta find something to use these for. Um, so that they don't just like go bad when I leave. Um, did I think I was gonna get to fried mushrooms this week too? I don't think I did think that. I have my morel to do fried mushrooms with. I just have to, that takes some planning ahead because that I also have to rehydrate. Um, so we'll see. I will perhaps do it right after I get back. Or I will perhaps do that later on, but it'll be coming up ish. And I have a plan now for my chocolate cake. I just don't really want to do that. Like my roommate's not here this week. So I was like, I don't want to make a whole chocolate cake and not have anyone around to help me eat it. Especially since it's going to be a three-tiered chocolate cake, and I'm going to need to probably double a recipe. And make a lot of chocolate cake, but I'm excited for that. Um, so Stardew cooking is so back. It's gonna happen. Um, I think that's it for this one though. I'm gonna go figure out what I'm doing with all this weird stuff that I made. Um, but yeah, that is it for me on this one. Sorry that I'm always ending the, oops, that's not the right. Here we go. Um, Sorry for always talking with food in my mouth on these. Um, but oh well. Okay, bye.